So hello and welcome to chair yoga or seated yoga. So we'll be staying seated for this class. Sometimes with the chair yoga we get up and we use the back of the chair for support to do some standing positions. But this week we'll remain in the chair. So I hope that should be accessible for everyone. And again, it's finding the right chair for you and the right form of support for you. So hopefully you've found something that really gives you a sense you can feel your sitting bones, feel your bottom on the chair, and you've got some support for your back that doesn't create overarching in your lower back or creating slump in your back. You're just trying to find a seat. It's usually a chair from dining room kind of chair that suits this kind of seated exercise a little bit more. So we're going to choose a theme today of letting go of strain, really. So it's quite easy for us to hold tension in the body. Sometimes we may be working a little bit harder and that kind of either different activity or strong activity can create strain in the body. Sometimes we don't breathe that well and that creates a tension both for the body and for kind of the mind. Sometimes the emotional state creates this issue as well, this kind of strain or stress in the body. So being able to have a few ways to tackle that is always going to be helpful for us. So we're going to start just by rubbing our hands, and that's a warming movement. And we'll hear the sound, so it's kind of not just a feeling, it's also a hearing in or listening in to the impact of that movement. It's a warming movement, but it can create tension for some of us. So it might be creating a little bit of tightness or tension in the shoulders. So just being aware of that. It might mean that you're holding your breath a little bit. So be aware of that. You might be holding your jaw a little bit. So be aware of that and just try and loosen up if you can. And start to maybe do a few more deeper out breaths. So you can blow through the lips, or you can do a sigh. So it's a way of letting go any strain or tension in the body while you warm up the body. More important in these winter months, so the cold can create strain. It can create closing down of the body. And relax the hands down. So if we do something that creates a bit more energy, then that can support us, or it can create some strain sometimes as well. So if that movement creates strain, this is the point when we stop and we just take in any ways that we can let go of tension, whether that's in the hands, in the wrists, so they can just rest on the lap, whether it's allowing the shoulders to relax down, whether it's allowing the jaw and the lips to just loosen. So we create more ease in that area of the jaw. And just see how things are going there. Okay. So let's just move a little bit further forward on our chair so our back's not resting against the support of the chair. And relax here. So we're just going to do circles on our bottom, on the sitting bones, just to get a little bit of energy in the hips and loosening up a little bit in the hips, just to let go around that area. Any strain or tiredness or stickiness, we undo it, or tension, we just let it go. And circuiting the other way. And back to center. So if you can take the back of your hands just to the side of your ribs and just see if you can do a little bit more of a rib cage movements. It's a lot of us, that's where we hold quite a lot of tension. So just releasing a little bit of tension in the rib cage, a slightly different dance now, as we just see if we can circle the rib cage around. And the other way. We're just trying to loosen the breath, loosen tightness in the center of the body. This new dance control. Okay, and relax the hands again, and just sitting back for a moment. See how you feel in the body. So generally when we release tension or strain, there is a little bit of a sense of giving more weight towards the ground. So that's not collapsing, so that's me giving really lots and lots of weight, but I'm falling forward. I can maintain a reasonable posture or a good posture, but I still feel a sense of weightedness in the chair. So trying to avoid collapse if you can, but trying to allow yourself to relax down at the same time. So a little bit of movement in the foot and the ankle now. So just doing some circles for the ankle. See how that goes. Just loosen any tension in the ankles, but that'll also be getting into the area around the back of your calves potentially. So letting the breath go a little bit again. And turning the ankle or the foot in the other direction to get the ankle to just loosen again. Few sighs, letting go. And gently returning that foot to the ground. But in the weight of that ground, that end of tension through the activity, the support we needed to do to keep the leg up and off the floor. So the opposite leg now, and see how it goes with circles in the other direction, or the other foot, first direction, should I say. See how that goes. And then do the other direction, just to loosen, find space in the ankle, loosen the muscles of the calf a little bit. And release the foot back down to the ground. So that might give you a different sensation in the legs when the feet return to the ground. I have a little bit more sensation of the legs feeling a little bit more with you. So hopefully a sense of relaxing now, releasing tension into the ground through the feet, releasing tension down into sitting bones, and see how the breath's going. So we've loosened a little bit for the breath, but we'll do a little bit more with that. So if you're happy to have your hands on the pelvis, and again, maybe come away a little bit from the back of the chair, so you're self-supporting, which is you can do. And then just let the one side of the body open up, and then the other side of the body. So we're basically just doing a side bend. So we're just trying to release any tension in the side body here. Release the breathing muscle again, the diaphragm. Release tension in the rib cage. Just finding your own way to just open up the side body a little bit here. Enjoying the movement if you can. You just go within your range. It doesn't have to be a big movement. Sometimes it opens up a little bit more just through repetition. If we don't create strain by pushing too much too quickly. And back to center. Relax the hands on the lap again. So if you're comfortable to stay forward, stay forward. If you need to go back and rest your back, then please do. So taking one hand to the opposite shoulder, front of the shoulder, or onto the fingers onto the top of the shoulder. So now you're just going to look behind you on the hand side of the shoulder. So just looking behind, a little way, and coming back into center. So you can allow as much movement in the center of your body to get that sort of twisting movement to start at the opposite hip and move around to the shoulder. So no strain, just seeing what openness we've got in this twisting movement. Keeping the spine long if you can, so not collapsing here. Okay, so just bring the hand down to the opposite hip. Yeah, so I've gone from one shoulder across the body to the opposite hip. So we're going to do the same movement again, but we're going to start with the hand down here and let it just brush across the body and brush back. Brush across the body and brush back. So I find this movement is a little bit better for my neck. Yeah, so this strain in the neck that can appear when we start to twist somehow softens, partly because I'm taking all my weight from where my hand starts, and the movement then goes across the body, so that I'm moving this hip forward and pelvis forward as I come into the twist. So opposite side, so opposite hand. See how you feel the center for a moment. Take a breath. And then feeling long and tall through the spine, then opening up and just seeing what your twist feels like in this position for a few rotations. So avoiding strain if you can. You can always take an out breath as you look behind you. Do that through the lips. Okay, and then bringing the hand down to the opposite hip and trying the second movement, see whether this reduces the strain and brings the whole body into supporting the twist. So taking that across the body and return. Across the body and return. Just finding a smooth way to open. Smooth and gentle on the neck. Again, you can still do that out breath if you like as you start to turn to one side. And your hands are a reminder to keep softness in the body. You can manage one more to unravel. And back to center. You sit that now, see how you feel sitting in your seat. So try to unwind any tension there. We've opened up the side body a little bit, warmed up the body a little bit, created a little bit of space for the ankles. Okay, so just going to do a few strange things with the jaw and the lips, just to loosen and reduce strain in the jaw area. So just gently, maybe it's easy to just take a thumb and a forefinger to the chin, just gently opening and closing the mouth, but actually just let it loosen and don't close it. Just let it drop a little bit and then return without closing the gap in the teeth. Connect. Soften if you can in that movement. And relax the hand down. So after that, I naturally wanted to take a slightly bigger breath. It's almost like I've released a little bit of tension in that jaw area. So we're going to take the jaw from side to side. So that's harder. And if again it feels too unstable or grinding, just doesn't feel comfortable, just leave it out. But see how it feels otherwise. 2. So the mouth slightly open as we take the chin from side to side. Little way. Okay. And if we take our tongue into one cheek and do circles. And go in the other direction with the circle. And release. And the other side. And the other direction. The geese just flying over in their usual quiet way. Okay, and relax. Tongue again. So we'll finish with just a little bit of movement for the shoulders. So bringing the shoulders up, back, and gently down. 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 Relax the whole body now. So just a sense of release. See what that feels like in the body. See if you're still holding tension or you created tension. If you created tension, just a few out breaths maybe to focus on the area where you feel like you could do with a little bit more opening, release, relaxation, softening. So just counting the next 2 or 3 breaths, in breath, out breath being one. Okay. So rubbing the hands, as we did at the start, just waken again. Waken to the sound of the hand on hand, the movement, the warming movement, the waking movement. And we will leave it there for this week. So finding ways to just let go of stress and strain is always a useful thing to do. whether the strain's in our head, in our jaw, in our shoulders, or whether it's somewhere else in our body, just opening up and finding a bit more space. So hopefully enjoyed that. So see you again soon, or practice with you again soon, hopefully. So thank you, and hopefully you find more time to relax and let go of any strain that's coming in the body or the mind.